Jisoo at Dior Spring/Summer 2026. One sentence and already the entire fashion world trembled. Imagine Paris, the city that has seen centuries of couture legends, suddenly holding its breath because of one moment, one woman, one vision that appeared under the lights of Fashion Week. The doors opened, the crowd of editors, celebrities, billionaires, and fashion elites leaned forward, and there she was, Jisoo BLACKPINK, standing in a dress that did not just shine, it burned its way into memory. Guests weren't just watching, they were stunned, speechless, their eyes wide as if history itself had just slipped through the runway. And here's the secret that nobody wants to admit. Dior didn't just put Kim Jisoo in a dress. They made her the centerpiece of a billion-dollar marketing move disguised as fashion, a strategy so flawless it could teach a masterclass in brand power. But let's not rush. Let's slow down, rewind, and take you backstage because behind that one insane entrance lies a world of strategy, money, and psychological play that turns a dress into an empire. Jisoo wasn't only a celebrity sitting front row. Dior themselves had teased her fitting in advance, posting her trying on looks for this very show. That alone was unusual. Brands rarely show fittings unless they want to stir anticipation. By letting the world know Jisoo was being prepared like a crown jewel, Dior planted curiosity in millions of minds before the show even began. This is the marketing equivalent of building a stock bubble. You inflate expectations so that the eventual reveal feels like an explosion. And on that Paris runway, the explosion happened. The applause wasn't just for fabric. It was for perception. In luxury, perception is currency, and Jisoo is one of the rare few who can amplify a brand's value overnight. Think of it like an investment. Stocks rise when demand outweighs supply. In fashion, demand skyrockets when culture attaches emotion to an object. Jisoo is emotion. Her fans don't just watch her, they live through her. When she touches Dior, it's not Dior clothing anymore. It's an extension of her identity, her success, her aura. That's how brand value multiplies. This is why the guests at Dior SS26 were left speechless. It wasn't just beauty, it was leverage in human form. As the lights danced across the runway, you could almost feel a ripple through the fashion elite. Editors were already drafting headlines in their heads. Camera flashes created a staccato beat. And there she stood, embodying a paradox. K-pop star turned fashion icon, both relatable and untouchable. One fan whispering in the audience turned into 10 tweets, then 1,000, then millions. Marketing psychology calls this the cascade effect, where one spark triggers an unstoppable chain reaction. Crazy part? Dior knew this would happen. They designed the shock, and Jisoo executed it flawlessly. Now pause for a moment and think, how many brands can control attention like this? Most companies chase attention with ads, promotions, discounts. Dior flips the script. They don't chase, they magnetize. And Jisoo is the magnet. This is where the entrepreneurial lesson comes in. If you want to build something that lasts, you don't just sell products, you create moments people cannot ignore. Dior SS26 wasn't just a show. It was a moment. And Jisoo was the moment. But just when the audience thought they had seen it all, something deeper unfolded. Jisoo's presence wasn't limited to a fitting, a photo, or a quick walk. This was part of a calculated narrative Dior has been building for years. Remember, Jisoo has already fronted the Lady Dior campaign, and not just in any way, her edgiest, boldest campaign yet. That alone shook critics who once thought of her as the sweet, elegant face of the brand. Suddenly, she was dangerous, sharp, experimental. Dior SS26 layered that image even further, proving she could carry not just one look, but the entire weight of a fashion house's identity shift. That's not just insane. That's historic. And here comes the cliffhanger, the part that makes even the most jaded fashion insider pause. Because whispers in the Paris air suggested that Jisoo's involvement with Dior SS26 isn't just about this season. Rumors hinted she could be the secret weapon Dior plans to wield against rival luxury houses in the next global expansion war. Think about it. Chanel has struggled to secure a global icon with the same cross-generational pull. Louis Vuitton has leaned on ambassadors but hasn't cracked the same virality. Dior placing Jisoo front and center at SS26 feels less like a runway decision and more like a chess move on the billion-dollar board of luxury dominance. And if that's true, then what happened in Paris is only the beginning. Imagine sitting there in the crowd, watching as Dior's new creative director Jonathan Anderson unveils his vision, and suddenly realizing this wasn't just fashion, it was strategy disguised as silk. That's the kind of realization that keeps you glued to your seat, and that's exactly what we're doing here, keeping you glued because something even bigger is coming. Dior is truly using Jisoo as their ace, then SS26 was just the test. The real play might be global domination through K-culture, through music, through lifestyle. A merger of industries where fashion isn't just clothing, it's entertainment, investment, and identity all at once. And if you walk away now, you'll miss the reveal that could change how we see luxury forever. But let's step out of the drama for a second because there's a light side too. Picture the editors in the front row, trying to act serious while secretly texting their friends, "I just saw Jisoo in that dress." Or the billionaire tycoon pretending not to care but leaning forward 2 inches when she walked past. It's hilarious when you realize that even the most powerful people in fashion aren't immune to the Jisoo effect. That's the thing about influence, it doesn't care about your status. Grabs everyone equally, whether you're a teenager in Los Angeles or a CEO in Paris. And honestly, isn't it funny that sometimes a single smile can do more damage than $1 million ad campaign? By the time the show ended, whispers had turned into roars. Social media lit up, fan accounts flooded timelines, and Dior's name trended globally alongside Jisoo. That's not coincidence, that's orchestration. This is what entrepreneurs should study: how to make your product part of culture, not just commerce. You can't buy moments like this, you design them. Dior designed it. Jisoo delivered it. The result? A moment etched into Paris Fashion Week history, a chapter where the world stopped not for a garment but for a person. And now we circle back because remember that opening hook? Jisoo at Dior Spring/Summer 2026, the moment Paris stood still. It wasn't an exaggeration. It was a reflection of how a single presence can shake an entire industry. Fashion isn't just about fabric. It's about narrative, psychology, strategy, and emotion. And in this case, it was about one artist who bridged music, beauty, and fashion into something unforgettable. Jisoo BLACKPINK didn't just attend Dior SS26. She redefined what attendance means. She turned it into an event within the event. And here's the twist, because what looked like a single red carpet appearance was actually a masterclass in influence. Every camera flash, every whisper in the audience, every article published afterward wasn't just reacting to Jisoo's look, it was amplifying her brand equity in real time. That's the hidden genius. While others merely walked the runway, she walked straight into history. So here's where I leave you with a choice. You can see this as just another fashion show, or you can see it as a blueprint for how influence works in the 21st century. If you felt the suspense, the drama, the goosebumps of this story, that's the exact energy Dior harnessed. And if you want more moments like this, you already know what to do. Hit subscribe, share this with the ones who doubted the impact of Kim Jisoo, and watch it again, because every time you do, you'll catch another detail you missed. And remember, this is just the beginning. What comes after Dior SS26 might not just shake the fashion world. It might shake everything. Are you ready?